So this one on the final exam was worth 5 marks. They say there's a box, so often good strategy is to draw it out. And it has side lengths x, x plus 2, so I'll go x, x plus 2, and x plus 10. Write a function volume to express the volume of the box in terms of x. That part isn't so bad. That was worth 1 of the 5 marks when this question was given on the exam. Then it says find all possible values of x given that the volume of the box is 96. Now, this question was a non-calculator question as well. So here we go. We've got 96 here as the volume, and x times x plus 2 times x plus 10. Now, because it was a non-calculator question, students were like, well, the answer's not going to be one that I type this into my graphing calculator and find out that the maximum is, or find out that x is 3.05. You know, it's going to have to be probably a pretty easy to tell. It's going to be a nice number. So I'd like you just to look at it for a bit here and see with guess and check if you can figure a number for x that works for all the sides. As the final exam goes, if you do the guess and check and get x equals 2, which is the right answer, you think you're done. Things that are bad in this question, and I think they would change for future exams because a lot of people complained. Find all the possibilities of x, and they might add this word in there, so be careful when you see a final exam that says algebraically. Means you have to use factoring, solving techniques, not just guess and check to find out the answer. So what we're going to do now is we're going to find out how you would solve this algebraically, what was expected on the exam, even though it wasn't clearly stated. If you were going to solve this one algebraically, you need to make one side equal to 0, which means we're going to move the 96 over to the other side. It'll also mean we're going to need to expand this completely. So I'm going to start by expanding it. Keep the 96 on this side for now. Multiply those through. I'll get x squared plus 2x. And multiplying this out, I'll get x cubed, 12x squared plus 20x. And now I can move the 96 over. And now we have to factor it. So you're going to have to use your factor theorem. Now the factors of 96 are 1 and 96, 2 and 48, 3 and 32. I'm not going to list them all because you're not going to plug in. Can you see that on a non-calculator thing, you're not going to plug in 96 and check to see if it's equal to 0. You're not going to plug in 48 to check if it's equal to 0. The only ones that are reasonable for you to plug in on a non-calculator are 1, 2, and possibly 3. Now, since we already know that 2 is one of the answers, I'm going to plug in 2. Oh, it's 0. So when I plug in 2, this means that x minus 2 is a factor. And to factor completely, this is where we would go to our synthetic division next. 2 on the outside, 1, 12, 20, negative 96. Bring it down to 14. 28. Oh, nice. Right? 48, 96. Perfect. So now that we know that our original function is going to equal x minus 2 times by x squared plus 14x plus 48. And that factors further to x plus 6 and x plus 8. So if you look back to the original question and it said find all possible solutions, well, this appears that there are more than one solution, because when we solve it algebraically, we get 3 solutions. But these ones, you're right, they don't make sense. So we can say definitively from the algebra that x equals 2 is the only solution. Whereas before, when we did guess and check, we could only say that x equals 2 was a solution. We didn't know it was the only solution. So the fact that the question said give all the solutions, they felt that that was enough information to say you had to do it algebraically. And if you just guessed and checked, they gave you 2 out of 5. But kind of frustrating when you think you've got it right, because you've got an answer that works, and you move on. And this question also on the exam was poorly placed because there was a 1-mark question right before it and a 1-mark question right after it. So the question right before you went, oh, yeah, got it. This one, oh, yeah, got it. Next one, yeah, got it. And you didn't feel like, if you didn't notice that this one was 5 marks, then you're in trouble. So always look at how much the questions are worth as well.